Are you ready to unlock abundance, attract more money, and finally feel worthy of the life you've been dreaming of? In today's episode of Aligned and Abundant, I'm sharing the truth I've learned from incredible mentors like Cathy Heller, Tracy Litt, and Samantha Moore. Money flows at the same frequency as self-love. We'll talk about how your nervous system shapes your ability to manifest, why saying yes to yourself is the doorway to expansion, and how retreats can completely transform your energy and your future. If you've ever struggled with money blocks, self-doubt, or feeling like you're dimming your light, this episode will speak straight to your soul and remind you that abundance isn't out there. It's already within you. Hey, my love, take a breath with me. Right here, right now. Breathe in. Breathe out. You found your way here for a reason, and I believe that reason is because your soul has been whispering, maybe even shouting, that you are ready. You are ready to stop living small. You are ready to stop dimming your light. You are ready to stop saying maybe later or tomorrow, when God has already put yes on your heart. Today's episode is one I know is going to stir something in you, because it has been stirring in me. It's about money, yes, but really, it's about so much more. It's about self-love. It's about frequency. It's about safety, abundance, and the radical truth that you were never meant to shrink. And this message really came alive for me after attending Cathy Heller's The Infinite Yes retreat. Surrounded by incredible women like Cathy, Tracy Litt, Jennifer Liss, and Samantha Moore, the wisdom, the breakthroughs, the reminders, they cracked me open in the best way possible. And I want to share all of that with you, plus my own stories, insights, and the nudges from spirit that continue to change my life. So settle in, maybe grab a journal. This is going to be a deep one. Let's start with this truth. Money comes in at the same frequency as self-love. Take that in. It's not about how much you hustle, how clever your posts are, or how many hours you log. It's about how much you love yourself. Because if you don't feel safe to hold more, if you don't believe you're worthy of more, you'll block the flow. Not because God is punishing you, not because the universe is limited, but because your energy is saying, I can't hold that. I don't deserve that. It's not safe for me to receive that. Cathy Heller reminded us, just like the ocean doesn't run out of waves, the Creator doesn't run out of blessings. Abundance is infinite. It doesn't run dry. And Tracy Litt drove it home with this. You are not benefiting the collective when you dim your lights. How often do we do that? Discounting ourselves, people-pleasing, pretending to be smaller than we are. We think it's humility, but really, it's hiding. And your soul did not come here to hide. Let me bring this into a real life story. Let me bring this into real life with a story. Recently, I was in Florida, staying in Daytona Beach. Recently, I was in Florida for the retreat I mentioned earlier. I had one last day and I wanted to make the most of it. So I did what we all do. I pulled out my laptop and I started Googling best things to do in the area. cool day trips, don't miss attractions. I had my heart set on a few different places, but nothing was really popping out as the one. The more I searched, the more frustrated I got. Nothing felt right. Finally, I decided to tap into my inner knowing. I closed the laptop and I said, God, I'm leaving this up to you. That night, as I got into bed, I pulled out my journal and I jotted down 3 simple things. They were to go out to breakfast and to drive down to St. Augustine and just enjoy the day. I was literally going to add more, but then I got the whispering that God was saying to me, that's enough. This needs to be a fun day that also includes rest. Because really I had been filling every moment that I had while on this trip with content in my ears. I was journaling, I was on Zoom calls, I was taking in information. And even though I was right on the ocean and I could have easily just been doing nothing but enjoying that, I literally was just utilizing every moment that I had to soak in information, to learn and to grow. And this day was just a special day. I woke up feeling like I needed to drop into my heart and I needed to listen. So I went to St. Augustine and the day was magical. The cobblestone streets, the beauty, the history, the perfect restaurant that I found when I was hungry, the perfect shops that I found beautiful shells in. People watching was interesting. I also took a trolley tour, even though the day was escaping me. I ended up hopping on the trolley tour and I got its last round, and the sweet woman at the ticket booth also talked me into the ghost tour, which she didn't really need to pull my leg too much because I do like some spooky stuff. And once she said I didn't have to walk, I was sold, honestly. I've been to so many ghost tours, side note, where you have to do a lot of walking. And usually at like 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, I'm already tired for the day. So the fact that I got to drive around on a trolley for most of the ride, I was like, that's a definite yes for me. And she was also so happy to sell me. I was like, here, take all my money. And I had a super fun time. So again, it was just the most magical day. I could have easily taken a main road up to St. Augustine and gotten there a lot quicker, maybe shaved off like 20-25 minutes of my ride. But I decided that I had my free upgrade. I rented a car when I landed and they upgraded me to a 2026 Mustang. So I felt super cool while I was driving around in Florida, and I decided I was going to take the scenic route. So I literally enjoyed every moment of it, catching up on replays of things that I had signed up for but had missed because I was wholeheartedly, fully paying attention while at the Infinite Yes retreat with Cathy Heller. And I was just enjoying these gorgeous ocean views out my window and the wind blowing in my hair. It was just a super magical day. And I want to stress also that there are also moments where I have to really tune in and listen to myself. And that's just the beauty of every day. That's the beauty of having freedom and having choice and having free will. There were a lot of restaurants that I had walked by, but I was kind of looking for something a little like casual, but also good food. So the first place I went up to, I was like, okay, I like the menu, but I didn't necessarily want to sit down and have the whole, let me get you a drink. Do you want apps? And then here's your meal. Like I didn't want a lot of that back and forth. So I ended up walking a little further. I was about to go in because at this point I was hungry. And I was about to go in and I said, you know what, let me walk one more down. And I literally found the perfect restaurant. It was an order / like takeout window, but then you could sit inside. And I ended up sitting down next to this beautiful fountain, and I had a view out the window, an open-aired window to people watch, and it was the cutest thing. A little girl walked past, and she smiled and waved at me. I think just because I honestly was just such in a good mood that I knew that my energy was just exuding out of me. I had overall, I just had such a magical day, and that was a blessing to me from God, but it was also evidence that if you just tune in and listen, you will be rewarded. And that is what I'm learning about more and more. So again, it's just funny to me because I am pretty good at manifesting. I had been to St. Augustine a couple of years ago. It was my husband and my daughter, and the trolley ride that day was not an enjoyable experience because it was super hot and my daughter was pretty cranky. So overall, it was not the best experience. We did what we could. We visited the Fountain of Youth. I'm still waiting for those effects to take place. And I just thought I have to get back here, but it wasn't out of like a need. It was, I will get back here. So I was staying in Daytona Beach after having the retreat in Boca Raton. I'm not even sure how to say it, honestly, but I would definitely go back in a heartbeat. And the bottom line is, it was just a yes. It was a yes. I was deciding between whether or not I wanted to go to one of the Universal Studios or Disney, or what was my other choice? Oh, just sitting at the beach and like enjoying and just relaxing. So I chose St. Augustine, and it really was the perfect place for me to go. I am totally into the cobblestone roads and the history, and just also I love being around people, and most of the people were just pretty content and pretty happy. Obviously not everyone is going to be happy that you come across or in the best situation, and I did my best with what I could in regards to obviously coming across homeless people and whatnot. So I always set intentions when I'm out and about to do little things that I can. And so I did, and I kept that in my heart. So that was good and made me feel good. Overall, it just reminded me that when I stop forcing, God starts flowing. So when I let go of control, my soul gets to receive. That is what abundance looks like. It's not just money in the bank, but joy in your day. Guidance in the little things, an alignment that fills your soul. Honestly, that day alone gave me enough gas to muster through the next few days. So it's like fuel for your soul, doing things that light you up and just feel good. Like I just appreciated everything. And if a negative thought came across my mind, I kind of just rerouted that thought. I want to remind you of something that I also have been learning. We manifest at the speed of safety. Think about that. You can want the dream, visualize it, chant all the affirmations you can muster in a day. But if your nervous system doesn't feel safe, you will sabotage it. You'll shrink. You'll should yourself out of it. That's why practices like breath work, journaling, meditation, grounding walks in nature, they're not just trendy self-care habits. They are lifelines. They signal to your body you're safe. You can open, you can receive. You see, your desires aren't random. They are divine assignments. You are here for a reason. You are here for a purpose, but you'll only let yourself step into those things when your whole being feels safe enough to hold it, to receive it. And that is something that I have been learning and training my nervous system to be calmer, to feel safer, so that I can expand, because I have big dreams just like you, and I am tired of waiting. I am 42 years old. They say that the true midlife is about 36. Sorry, people, it's not your 50s. And it's just time. So if you are sitting back and questioning when can you start your next chapter, it's today. It's right now. You can change your mind. Someone who inspires me additionally is Kathleen Cameron, and she had also shared that her ex-husband had said to her, Kath, you don't have to be, Kath, you have permission to not be the same person you were 5 minutes ago. And I just really loved that, because it is so true. It's like people are waiting for permission to step fully into the highest version of themselves, or to change, to do something different, etc. And honestly, the only person that you need permission from is yourself. And if you want to hear someone giving you permission, I am giving you permission to change your life, to do what you want to do, and to be who you want to be. I am giving you a wholehearted, loving yes. Do it. When you say yes to yourself, you are not only healing yourself, but you are healing the collective. And that, my friends, is so important. I am on a mission to help heal this collective, this consciousness that we are currently living in our 3D life. Speaking of the power of saying yes, I want to talk about the power of saying yes to retreats. Recently, I told my friend that I am in my retreat era. I am all about going on retreats and just watching the expansiveness of women grow and shed layers of doubt, shame, guilt, fear that they have been holding on to like a security blanket. And once they release these things, you can see the spark in their eyes, the energy around them lighting up and expanding. And we heal in a collective. We heal in a group, because when you are sharing energy and space in such a beautiful, intimate, safe, and supportive way, when you witness someone heal, if you have any resonance with what they are healing from or through, you also heal. And that is literally so amazing. And that is one of the most powerful things. That is one of the most powerful benefits of attending a retreat, especially in person, if you are able to do so. When you step into a retreat, you step away from the noise that is outside. You're putting yourself in an energetic field of expansion where your nervous system can finally exhale. At Cathy Heller's Infinite Yes retreat, I looked around the room and I thought, this is what happens when people say yes. We were at one of the most beautiful resorts. The food was delicious. The waitstaff was attentive. And everybody was just so excited and so happy and so eager to learn and grow and support one another. It was truly beautiful. The energy was electric. You could feel the possibility. And yes, it's scary sometimes. It's really scary sometimes. The money, the travel, the vulnerability of showing up with strangers, of traveling solo, but that's why it matters. You're saying, I choose me. I choose me. I choose expansion. I choose to step into the room where my future self already lives. And I love that. Cathy is always teaching us in her community to step into our 2.0 version, to have intimate conversations with our highest version, and to act as if you were already that version. And she is not the only one that I have learned this from. I've also learned that from Kathleen Cameron. And you just have to act as if, because your mind creates the thoughts and then the 3D world prints it out. And it takes time to catch up. So your thoughts become things. So the more that you operate from that 2.0 version, or the highest point, or the highest version of who you can become, the greater your life is going to look, but more importantly, feel. And I want to remind you that your brain's job is to keep you safe. It goes off of data from past experiences. So when you're putting yourself into an unfamiliar area, it's going to trigger your body. But if you pay attention to those signals and you breathe calmness and certainty into your body, you are going to become calmer and feel better. And if you keep pushing yourself through these unfamiliar and slightly uncomfortable situations, they will eventually become familiar. Your nervous system will catch up, and suddenly what once felt impossible will feel normal. It will feel like routine. It will feel like old hat. And if you're listening right now thinking, I want that, I want to say yes to myself, I want to be in the energy of expansion, here's your invitation. Book a discovery call with me. This isn't about pressure. It's simply about curiosity, about seeing if we are an energetic match, and exploring what passions, ideas, or callings you're ready to dive deeper into. You'll find the link in the show notes, and for the month of September, you can use the code YES at checkout to save $22. So if your soul has been nudging you, maybe this is your moment to say yes. So let me ask you, what are you afraid to want? Usually, it's not about the dream itself. It's about the little version of you. The inner child who was told she was too much, too needy, not enough. She's the one whispering, don't ask for that. Don't want too big. It's not safe. But here's the truth. When you love her, when you ask her what she needs, when you heal her, you heal you. I've recently been doing some internal family. I've recently been doing internal family systems therapy with Manu. I'll drop his information in the notes as well if you are interested. And what has come from that is a lot of inner child healing. Going in to almost a meditative state and meeting that inner child and seeing what she needs. And then together, I am the one that goes in and saves her. So I am saving myself. And I'm honestly surprised by the way that it works, but it works. When you heal your inner child, you heal your current version, and you also set the pace for how fast your highest version, your 2.0 version of yourself comes to meet you. You are collapsing timelines. You are quantum jumping. It is truly remarkable, and I highly recommend that you invest some time and energy into this kind of work, this kind of healing. I'm not necessarily doing it for me. Well, I am doing it for me, but more importantly, I am doing it for my children. I am doing it for my ancestors. I have the access, the capabilities, and the will to change the path for my children and to heal the paths of my ancestors. It is beautiful, sacred work, and I truly invite you to get curious about how you can do inner child work. You can always reach out to me, and I can share the information that I have to work with. Again, Manu, the healer, he's more than a healer. He is just so much more than that. I'll direct you to his information. Back to what I was saying. From that place of healing your inner child, your worthiness shifts. Suddenly saying yes doesn't feel so scary. Would I have gone on a retreat a year or two ago? No, there's no way, because I was having such bad anxiety that I barely wanted to be in a car, let alone get on an airplane. And this year I have been on an airplane now 6 times. I did a solo flight to Los Angeles, which was about 6 hours. I then traveled to St. Martin. And again, I just recently went to Florida. So I have now become a pro. No, I'm just kidding. But I have become comfortable with getting on an airplane. And again, about 2 years ago, I would not even consider it. It was such a strong whole body no, because I was terrified, because my nervous system was so out of whack that I honestly was having a hard time functioning. And literally just driving to work was a struggle. With me sharing that story, I just want to tell you that things can honestly really change when you just let go and relax, but also learn and grow. Like, put in the work, discover why you feel a certain way, feel into that feeling, feel into that emotion, see where it lives in your body, ask it what it is doing, why it feels like it needs to be present and to protect you. What is it protecting you from? And then release it. Release it into air, fire, water, earth. Let it go. Thank it and let it go. It is no longer serving you. It may have served you in the past, but it may not be serving you anymore. After I got back from the retreat, I picked up a book that I have just lying around. So I don't know about you, but I am the type of person that I am constantly in the middle of like 6 different books at a time. And it depends on what kind of mood I'm in as far as what book I want to pick up. So for example, on the plane, I had 3 different books with me, and it just depended on what kind of mood I was in to decide what I was going to open up. I try to read every night just to calm my mind and quiet myself down. And so when I got back from the retreat, I had the urge to pick up the book A Return to Love, Reflections on the Principles of A Course in Miracles by Marianne Williamson. I love this book. It has been an excellent read, and I do believe that you pick up exactly where you need to. So I usually have a bookmark or something to let me know where I had previously left off. I had picked it back up in the relationship area, which I thought was useful and helpful, but then I went right into the work section, and I just felt like, again, this is where inspiration for this podcast episode is also coming from. I want to talk about the holiness of money. Yes, I put holiness and money in the same sentence. Some of you were like, but I'm going to tell you, think differently. She said something, Marianne Williamson said something that rocked me. There is nothing pure or spiritual about poverty. You see, money is neutral. It's not good. It's not bad. It becomes holy or unholy depending on the intention behind it. And I have expressed this before. Money is neutral. If you are a good person with good intentions, you will more than likely use money as a catalyst for change, not only in your life, in your family's life, and in strangers' lives, through blessings, through charity work, through donations, through wanting to make the world a better place. I'll let you in on a little secret here. This is something that I'm personally manifesting. When I have an exuberant amount of money, because the universe will bless me, I wholeheartedly believe that. I have intentions to specifically help children in poverty-stricken areas. Now, that might be in the United States. It might be in a completely different country. I'm going to let God decide where I'm going to be putting those efforts in. In the meantime, while I don't have an exuberant amount of money, I donate to charities and people as they come across my way and as I feel called to. For example, I had been, October is next month, and it's breast cancer awareness, and there's always awareness for cancer, unfortunately. But St. Jude's has been calling on my heart for a long time, and I kind of was making excuses about why I couldn't donate, or I would donate. Listen, I am like the queen of donating. I'm going to be honest. Round up $1 there, put $1 there, put $2 there. Like, I am the queen of doing it because I feel like money comes and money goes. And I feel like it's an energetic exchange. If I am putting my heart and intention into whatever I can currently afford, then I know that it's going to come back to me. Like, I'm a very big believer of karma. I am a big believer of helping other people. So I am definitely the queen of, I will donate to every cause that comes across my way. And I'm not saying that like to brag. I'm just giving you a little insight into how I operate on a daily way. Anyway, I finally decided to do I don't even know, it's like $25 a month or something. I signed up to donate to St. Jude because honestly, like, the universe works in a mysterious way. This had been on my mind. I had not spoken it out loud because I know that sometimes technology seems to listen. I had just had it on my mind. So one day I received a letter from St. Jude asking for a donation and then giving you those cute little address stamps. And I was like, okay, I'm going to do this. Again, not speaking anything out loud to anyone. And I think it was like 2 days later, St. Jude was calling me on my phone. And I was like, okay, God. I was like, you want me to do this. You want me to come through with this intention, with this calling on my heart. And so I did. So I hopped onto the webpage and I set it up for monthly donations. So I just decided, you know what, I'm just going to do this because I just felt the calling, and like they're literally calling me at this point. So it's time to act on it. So I just want to remind you that when you use money as an extension of love to support others, to create beauty, to help find a cure, to circulate generosity, it becomes an act. It becomes a sacred act, and it is so good for your soul. Marianne Williamson goes on to say that your career is your ministry. Your work can be your prayer, because when you dedicate it to love, Spirit moves through you. Spirit guides you. And I want you to hear this. God does not want you to struggle. God does not want you to shrink. God wants you resourced, supported, and joyful, so you can pour out love without fear, without the fear of scarcity, without the fear of being and living in poverty, without the fear of being poor. God wants you to utilize money for good, not only in your life, but in the lives of others, to spread wealth, to spread kindness, and to get that energy circulating. Money is just energy. Now, let me be real. Do I live in this high frequency flow all the time? No. Half the time my brain feels like a pushy, over-caffeinated travel agent. Christine, you should do more. You should go faster. You should have figured this out yesterday. Why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? And Spirit's just sitting there laughing. Girl, go eat the ice cream. Watch the sunset. Take the nap. That is the work. And Spirit's just sitting there laughing. Girl, go get the coffee. Watch the sunset. Take the trip. That is the work. Because sometimes the most spiritual thing you can do is laugh until your belly hurts. Sometimes expansion looks like joy. Sometimes alignment looks like rest. Taking that bath, reading that book, relaxing in your bed for an extra 20 minutes when you have time. So here's what I want you to remember. Money, love, joy, abundance, they're all the same frequency. And that frequency is self-love. And self-love is built choice by choice. Moment by moment, yes by yes. This week, I want you to journal on 3 questions. Do a deep dive with yourself. I will pop these questions into the show notes. 1, where am I dimming my light, pretending it keeps others comfortable? Ooh, that's a good one. I'm going to repeat that. Where am I dimming my light, pretending it keeps others comfortable? 2, where is my nervous system asking for safety before it can receive? 3, what am I afraid to say yes to? That might actually be the very thing God is calling me into. And what am I afraid to say yes to? That might actually be the very thing God is calling you into. Let these questions work you. Let them soften you. Let them wake up the part of you that already knows. The answers are always within you. You just have to get quiet and ask the questions. My friend, you don't have to earn God's blessings. You don't have to hustle for worthiness. You don't have to prove your value to anyone. You are already enough, already chosen, already worthy. The question is, will you let yourself receive it? Stop shrinking. Stop doubting. Stop waiting. Your soul came here to shine, and the world is waiting for your light. If you want to learn more about shining your light, I encourage you and invite you to join my online Facebook community, Aligned and Abundant, the Soul Shine Collective. The link will be in the notes. If this episode has stirred something in you, if you're ready to say yes to yourself in a bigger way, I'd love to invite you to book a discovery call with me. It's a safe, sacred space where we can explore if we're an energetic match and look at the passions, curiosities, and desires your soul is ready to expand into. I am evidence that this works. For the rest of the month of September, use the code YES at checkout to save $22. That's my special number. You'll find the link in the show notes. And if you want to support me and this podcast, here's how you can help it reach even more souls. Rate it with 5 stars. Rate it with 5 stars. Leave a heartfelt review. Or share it with someone you know would love it or benefit from listening. Every rating, every share, every review helps me continue creating more content and fulfilling my purpose of helping others on their healing and learning path. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for saying yes, not just to me, but to you. Until next time, keep shining, keep saying yes, keep remembering your abundance isn't out there. It's already within you.